The smoke arrives before the fear does. It burns your throat. The air isn't air anymore. The floor is shaking, a low tremor, constant, like a pulse, as if the building itself were dying beneath you. Broken glass crunches under every step. Distant voices. Some are praying. Others repeat a single name, over and over, as if repeating it could bring back something already gone. Below, far below, distant sirens. Useless. You're on the 92nd floor. And for the first time in your life, you feel in your body what a word means that until today, you'd only used figuratively. Trapped. Completely trapped between fire and smoke. But just an hour ago, none of this existed. Just an hour ago, the world was something else. That morning, the sky was clear, not a single cloud. A blue so perfect that years later people would still talk about it. You walked to the North Tower with a coffee in hand, the same one as always, from the same corner stand. It was Tuesday, primary election day in the city. Some nearby lobbies had ballot boxes set up. A small detail, ordinary, one that within minutes would be buried by history. You rode up in the elevator, ambient music nobody really listened to. The smell of new carpet, of fresh coffee. You greeted the same faces as always, the ones who shared that same vertical commute every morning, not knowing, none of them, that for many, this ride would be the last. You sat down at your desk and got to work. There was plenty to do this week. But at 8:46, everything changed in an instant. First, the sound. A roar that didn't match anything familiar. Too low to be thunder, too close to be a normal plane. You looked toward the window, like everyone did. And for a moment, just one moment, the world stopped completely. A plane, too low, too fast, too close. Someone screamed. Someone else froze, paralyzed, unable to move. And then, the impact. The whole building shook, as if it were made of paper. The sound wasn't an explosion. It was something deeper. A metallic groan that rose from the foundations to the roof, as if the tower itself had screamed. You fell to the floor without realizing it. The air filled with white dust, with papers flying, with a heat that shouldn't exist inside an office. The lights went out. Total darkness. Absolute silence. For 1 second, that felt eternal. When you got up, nothing was the same anymore. The hallway had become another place. The ceiling hung in broken panels. Loose wires sparked on the floor, and a strange heat, like a distant furnace, was starting to seep through the walls. You looked for the stairwell. Everyone was looking for it. A coworker, his shirt stained with something dark, helped you up, without a word, because in moments like this, words are pointless. You started going down, floor after floor, in a silent line of people walking with a calm that hurt more than screaming would have. Nobody knew yet that a second plane was already in the air, approaching the South Tower. Nobody knew that within minutes, the whole world would be watching these images live, frozen in front of their televisions. You only knew one thing, with a certainty pressing on your chest harder than the smoke. You had to get down. But fate, that day, wasn't writing the same story for everyone. You made it to the 83rd floor, and there, the stairwell, simply vanished. A wall of debris, twisted metal, thick dust that wouldn't let you breathe. The group stopped dead. Someone tried another route. Someone else shouted there was another stairwell on the other side. The heat kept climbing. slow, unbearable, as if the air itself were deciding how much time you had left. The smell of burning fuel mixed with something metallic, something your body recognized as danger before your mind could name it. You backtracked, went up, instead of down, looking for air, looking for a window, looking for something, anything, that resembled a way out. And so, without meaning to, you ended up back where it had all begun. Now you're here again. Smoke fills the room like a tide that won't recede. Through the shattered glass of a window, you see Manhattan stretched out in silence, removed, distant, as if it belonged to another planet. The sky, that same perfect blue from the morning, is still there, indifferent, as if it didn't know what was happening beneath it. Around you, people have stopped screaming. Some sit down, some hold each other. A woman holds a photograph she pulled from her wallet. She looks at it like someone searching for strength in a beloved face. You think of your own people, of the voices you'd want to hear one last time, of everything you left unsaid that same morning, thinking there'd be time later. The heat is no longer just heat. It's a presence, something filling the air, pressing against your skin. You breathe slowly, carefully, as if breathing were now an act of resistance. At 10:28, 102 minutes after the first impact, the structure holding up your world stops holding on. You don't hear it as a sound. You feel it as a movement. The ground stops being solid beneath your feet. It doesn't happen all at once. It happens in layers. You feel each floor, far below where you are, giving way one after another, and that motion rises toward you, like a wave you can't see but can feel in the soles of your feet, in your knees, in your stomach. Your hands reach for something to hold on to, a table, a door frame, anything that still seems solid in a world that no longer is. The air changes instantly. The pressure squeezes your ears like being on a plane losing altitude too fast. Thick white dust pours in through every crack, every gap, covering your skin, your clothes, your throat, before you can even close your eyes. There's no up or down anymore, only motion, only noise. A continuous roar unlike anything you've heard before. Not even a storm, not even a train. Something that seems to swallow the whole world around you as it moves. The speed of the descent, if it were clean, would be around 300 kilometers per hour, but this is a fall dragged down by the collapse of the structure, full of collisions with floors, steel, concrete, air, fragments, and deformation. Even so, you make the descent at 200 kilometers per hour. The sound fades from within, as if the whole world were holding its breath with you. And then time and space stop meaning anything. Perception distorts, a massive rush of adrenaline pulling you towards shock rather than conscious pain, away from the fall itself and from reality itself. One last thought appears, clear, warm, distant from everything else. The final impact, lethal and instant. That day, 2,753 people didn't come home. Firefighters who went up while others came down. Office workers who made one last call to their families from phones that barely had signal. Passengers who, aboard hijacked planes, chose to act rather than surrender. Their memory continues to inspire acts of solidarity, courage, and unity that cross borders. Their names are engraved today in two reflecting pools, exactly where the towers once stood, a place now known, with a simplicity that aches. The September 11th Memorial.